Hey, Gene, it's us again.
Oh, here you come up the road. I can't even believe my eyes. I cannot even believe you are actually coming up my road.
Yep. Me and William.
Not only are you coming up my road, you're coming up my mountain.
Your mountain.
This is my mountain, Arthur.
Your
Yep,
mountain?
it's mine.
Oh.
I own it. I own it. I own it. I own it.
Yeah, here we are. Miss Walton herself, who owns Walton Mountain.
God gave it to me.
That's right. Okay. All right, we're getting up there. We got a lot to talk about, so we're going to wrap this thing up here. Okay, William, now show Gene what we've been practicing the last couple weeks, okay?
I can hardly wait.
Yeah, we've been actually down in Florida, so he's got a suntan, so watch this. He's a stud.
Suntan.
He's a real stud. Okay, hold on. That's pretty good.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's here.
Whoa.
You didn't hear any screeching? You didn't hear any breaks? You didn't hear anything breaking? We've been practicing. That was pretty good. It came to a nice, quiet stop.
That was quite boring, actually. Oh, Arthur!
I spoke too soon.
You're supposed to control that horse. I just built that barn again.
So there he is. Okay, my buddy. I knew I could count on him. William. So we have to check, see if he's okay. Oh,
Okay. Let's get on with the show.
All right, he's okay.
Let's get on with the show.
All right, so what do we got going today? What's going on?
I don't know. I think that you need to pack William up and...
Give him a carrot. He'll be okay. Come on. All right, what's going on? A lot of stuff happening. We got to get caught up.
We have all kinds of things going on in the sky. Mercury is going retrograde, so anything that can go wrong will go wrong, except for that astrology is a bunch of hooey in the sense that nothing goes wrong except for that you allow it to go wrong. So you get to choose.
You know what? I'm actually going to go back over this show, and I'm going to cut that words out that you just said, and I'm sure at some future show I will use that against you. You realize that, right? I wouldn't do that to you, June. No,
that's
where you
fine.
said astrology is a bunch of hooey. I know that that's not the case. Actually, I've taken a lot of courses from Jean. She is very articulate, knows her substance, knows her stuff. She is the
You didn't
cosmic
hear the whole
queen.
sentence.
Oh, all right, okay, fine.
I said, astrology is a bunch of hooey when you use it for negative, we're all down here to get self-mastery.
Yep.
We're all down here to only use astrology as a little compass and a roadmap to show us where, the stumbling blocks could possibly be. That does not mean they are stumbling blocks, but they could be in certain areas and time and space. And so you make the choice. You are the creator or destroyer of your world. So what are you creating? That's what you want to do. Like Donald Trump. He's the great creator. He says something even before he even knows what he's saying, and then he creates it. It's amazing.
Well, it can come across to some other people that he's actually manipulative and he's actually,
that's a
con
bunch
artist.
of hooey.
Well, it is.
Oh my God!
But it's the energy that can be misread by people, and I think it's a discernment problem on the other side, to tell you the truth.
You know what? I am so tired of hearing negative things about Trump.
Yeah.
I want to just. I have worked so hard on this man's chart. I have torn it up, torn it down. I know it better than the back of my hand. And I watch his rallies. I watch what he does. I am a Trumpster. And the man is a visionary. The man is an inventor. The man knows how to lead. And it's intimidating, I think, to many, many people that have never been able to lead, and yet they call themselves leaders.
Actually, I think a lot of people may be misreading what leadership really is. They think it's a soft, mamby-pamby kind of delivery. And a true leader can, they can scare the tar out of people, because they're saying, whoa, I got to rise up to the occasion and I got to step forward and be able to meet it. I agree with you, Gene. I mean, seeing his chart in comparison to all the other charts that have been done, this I agree with you. The guy's a visionary, and he knows what's going on. I loved what he did in Mexico. Oh my God, it was awesome.
Yeah. I know. I was like, oh my goodness, President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it felt like.
Yep. And he did his stuff, and I mean, the Mexican presidents, both of them, Vicente Fox and the new president, I mean, they may not like him, but I'll tell you what, they probably have a lot more respect for him now for what he did. They certainly know that.
And
they
I
can't
saw
push him
the
around.
respect.
Yeah.
I saw it because I watched it. And I watched how he was handling Trump, and it's funny. I had a dream about him that night, the Mexican president, not
Really?
Vicente, but Pina or whatever his name is.
Really?
That's disrespectful, isn't it? Because I don't remember his name. But
Well, I will check the Trek Upward Radio
Yeah.
Show extensive library here, and we'll.
Pena, I think it's Pena, I believe. But anyway, you know what? The day was young. So there he is with the president of Mexico, and that night he gave an immigration speech that I laughed so hard through, and then I cried, and then I was just thrilled, and then I was just electrocuted and on fire, and I am so galvanized to work for the Trumpster. I mean, this man, he's the president. He's the first president we've had even opportunity to even consider since I can remember, since the George Washington days, quite frankly, maybe Abraham Lincoln, but you know what I mean? I don't think there's been only two other presidents that actually could move my soul like Trump has moved my soul. Again, that's George Washington and Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. Right up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay.
Did you hear his immigration speech
I did.
that night?
I
after
heard
he...
all 10 points, and I heard what he said, and I want to
beautiful.
I want to tell the audience that he was right in what he said. Was this is the last chance that we have to get this right?
That's right.
And I would agree with you. And you all know that I study prophecy, and I study how to turn around prophecy and using the science of the spoken word. And I will tell you, he's absolutely right. There's a lot of stuff that we'll be bringing up on our shows that are coming up here that we need to be prayerful about, make sure that we invoke the presence of the angelic realms, and to be able to pull this down to avert what could potentially come about. And he's up against it, right up in its face, and dealing with it on a day-to-day basis. And the guy has
I
got...
know he can take it. He's got huge shoulders, huge shoulders. Not that he needs to go on a diet, but I mean, he's got huge shoulders. And I got to tell you, September 26th, he's going to sit with that little Miss Hillary, and he's going to just leave her so far in the dust, it's not even going to be funny. His astrology is so powerful and so good on that debate that I think all of America. The good thing is that there's going to be a lot of viewers, so maybe that he'll be able to show himself without being tainted by the media for something that has nothing to do with who he is and what he's trying to get done.
Well, you know what's going to happen is whoever's going to be delivering the questions is going to be set up for the media. They're going to do the best that they can to try to take it down. Take him down. The other thing that I'm concerned about is the attempts to hijack the presidency between now and November. And
it's not going to happen.
Well, there's some movements where they're thinking that they might actually try to turn over the election process to the Department of Homeland Security. And so,
you
folks,
know what? They can have all the fun they want trying to do stuff like that. It ain't going to happen. So don't worry about it. Don't get stuck on that stuff.
Good.
That's the Mercury and Virgo bringing up the little stuff that makes everybody go, oh my God. And it's just not in the stars. And I have done the stars. I've done America's chart. Donald's chart lines right up with America's chart. I have done all of the charts of the contenders and the main players that would have any say-so. And, sorry, Donald Trump is going to be President Trump very soon. And, of course, astrology is based on free will choice, to be or not to be. That is the question. But if you're ever going to have opportunity to pull off a Trump card, Mr. Trump has it.
Very
and
interesting.
You just
name,
watch.
name.
Mark my words, because a year ago June, I made that same thing that he did. He came out and he said, I'm running for president, and I ran and scrambled to his chart and I went, oh my God, he's going to win. And everybody said, oh, that astrologer's out there to lunch. Sure enough, he won the primary. Now he's going to win the White House, and I'm good at what I do by the grace of God. So just forget all the little notions of conspiracy and oh my gosh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and they're going to get hijacked, and the world's going to fall apart before Trump even gets into the White House. It's going to happen. He will
Well,
be in the White House.
one thing that I have to disagree with you on this is it's not, as the French say, a fait accompli, accomplished fate.
Well, we have free will choice.
Yes, and we also have to make sure that we protect what is that needs to come down. So please pray for the protection of that election, and make sure that you do your visualizations and pull that down to ensure that that happens. Because many a situation has been diverted because the dark forces would like to see something else happen.
Well,
And
George Washington got down on one knee and prayed profoundly and got that vision. And if you want to see that vision, we've talked about this in other shows, George Washington's vision, and how he was able to turn the tide of that war. Yeah, it's an amazing, amazing vision. And I believe we're living that vision now. And I do believe that Donald Trump has angelic assistance, and I believe that Archangel Gabriel is very much involved because his last name is Trump. And he's making such a noise.
oh, that's
And noise
interesting.
is an interesting
I hadn't thought about that. That's an interesting. The Trump.
noise is an interesting thing.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
Trump sounding. Wow.
And that's how he's won the first platform of this part of the election, was by making noise. Now, the noise may not have been well heard by many people, but it was so well heard that nobody can stop talking about him. So he did his job, and he had to.
There it is, the Trump.
Yeah, he had to do it that way to get, control of the attention, because he knew that, I guess, the attention was going to be a negative spin, and it still is. Even when he does it perfect, it's amazing. Even when he does it absolutely 100% perfect, the media still says, nah, 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 nah. I'm like, ah. I've had it with the media, and they're Clinton machine, one world government garbage.
And you heard it here, folks. By golly. There you go. I agree. There's still a lot of work to be done. We need to make sure that you pray for that protection. Don't be a...
Well, yeah, a lot of people are saying, oh, they're going to try to take him out, assassinate him. And I'm like, Archangel Michael, stand guard where he is. And everybody out there that's listening to the show, all you have to do is say, Archangel Michael, stand guard where Donald J. Trump is. Protect his life. See to it that he gets to the White House and does the things that he said he was going to do, which he will. I have no doubt. But, the astrology right now is kind of crazy, because we have Mercury retrograde at 28 degrees Virgo. We got Jupiter in Virgo. We got the moon in Virgo, believe it or not. We have the sun in Virgo. Everything is so Virgo. So we have all these whiners and nitpickers getting on the shows, getting on the media, and, doing their huffy puffy silliness. And, they're just blowing out their ears, because there's nothing, they're not saying anything that anybody can swallow. And if you go out into the day and you talk to people, everyone I talk to says they love Trump. Everyone. Now, why am I magnetizing so many Trumpsters in a world where there's, according to the media, no Trumpsters? What is that?
It's
and
a lie.
How is it that he can have 20? Yeah, how can he have 20,000 people, 15,000 actually the other night when he did that immigration speech, with doing standing ovations? What's the biggest crowd Hillary's had since she started running? 5? No. Really, seriously, she was talking before the vets or the VA a couple days ago, and she didn't even curl her hair. I mean, it was just like stuck to her face. I was like, you're running for president and you forgot to comb your hair? What is with that?
She has some serious medical problems, and
oh, I don't know about that. Everybody's told me that she's got catheters in her jumpsuit or her pantsuit, and she's got this and that going.
Well, Jean,
I'm looking at her when she walks, and it's like there's nothing there. I can't see anything.
Jean,
she looks like she's got it together except for her hair.
Jean,
what?
I can tell you from my sources emphatically that she has a severe disease that is not being revealed, and I can tell you that
judgment. That's her second.
Yeah, I am not. I'm really telling you, I'm not. I can't release the name of the source, but I can tell you for a fact that they are well aware of the fact that she does have a medical condition that's being covered up by the press, and it's getting
Everything's
to the
being
point.
covered up.
It's getting
Everything.
to the, yeah. Well, they're covering up everything because you have to understand that we have two choices. It's either going to go down if she gets into office, or we have a fighting chance if he gets into office. And regardless of what you think about this, and whether or not you think it's going to be positive or negative, there's been so much negativity, and there are so many things going on behind the scenes that you are not getting in the press, that it has to happen where Trump has to become president. Otherwise, we do not have a fighting chance of saving our Constitution and making sure that things are, going to be what they need to be. It is.
I put on my Facebook this thing that Ann Coulter said. She said she just took a picture of herself, a selfie, and she says, "Oh God, please, people, this is our last chance. You've got to get on the Trump train. You just gotta.
Well,
this is it, folks. This is it."
Yes, it is. And there are a lot of hidden dangers that have not been revealed that are out there, that these people that are orchestrating these events on the Hillary side have not revealed, and that I am sure by God's grace we get Donald Trump in office, we'll start to get to the bottom of this.
See, what's
going to
happen?
We got to get to the
Clinton
truth.
gets in office. Listen to this. Clinton gets in office and Cain is her running mate. So she dies and Cain becomes president. That man can't even able. I mean, is unable. And I think that they...
I get it. Cain,
Cain
Abel. That was pretty good, Gene. I got it.
But no, I mean, when I look at him, I've studied him and I'm like, who are you? You just look like one of those Russian really bad leaders. What were their names? Not so long ago that Mussolini was friends with one of them. I think that's who it is. We go into past lives all the time.
What are you talking about? You talking about Stalin or one of those types of guys? Stalin or
one of those types
Trotsky
of guys.
or any of the Russians that set up the revolution?
Yeah, whoever the guy was. Yeah, whoever was alive.
Well, we know that Stalin never made it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mussolini, when Mussolini was alive, who were the leaders of that time? And I can't remember what the dates are, so we can't have this conversation right now unless you go to the Google research extensive library that we have for the Trek Upward.
Yes, I will do that immediately.
But I think that he just has something really dark, like KKK in his aura. Like, man, you look like the typical Ku Klux Klan guy. Oh my gosh! And see, I got to be careful what I say because I don't want to be burned at the stake. But isn't that what they do? The Ku Klux Klan, they burn people at the stake.
They can. Yeah.
They make steak out of them. I don't know.
All right. Well, we had Vladimir Lenin. We had Joseph Stalin. We had. Let me see who else is here.
During when Hitler was when Mussolini was alive in Italy and doing the Hitler thing.
That would have been Stalin. Lenin actually died before World War II. He died in 1924. Mm-hmm. So, or no,
he
excuse
could be back,
me. He was,
though, I mean,
yeah,
that could be him.
He died in 24. Stalin died in 53, and we know that he didn't make it because of his stuff. There might have been some other guys that were here. I'll have to look on the Italy side. It is interesting to see. I studied a little bit more about Mussolini and what had occurred to him, and basically what happened was he got kind of sucked in with the Nazis. Believe it now. Wait till you hear this. This was an interesting fact that I found out. You know who coined the term fascism?
No.
Mussolini. According to,
have you noticed the suits she wears? She wears the same kind of suits that Mussolini used to wear.
Well, the deal was he was into socialism.
Crazy.
He wanted socialism, and he was trying to come up with a name for it, and it was fascism. And we know the history of what this soul has done at Berkeley, and how she was trying to get associated with socialism, and how she was trying to bring this in. He's been doing the same thing for 2 lifetimes. So she's pursuing socialism, has been, and that has been the goal all the way along. So Mussolini
on a lighter
actually...
note.
Yeah, no, actually what happened was Mussolini started to expand. Germany kind of pushed them into it, and Italy was defeated all over the boards. So the only way that they could basically...
By my beloved Trump, by my beloved Patton.
No, before. This is even before that happened. So
okay.
what happened was is Mussolini started to try to take land. They started to move into different areas, and the Italians were severely defeated at all turns. The Germans had to support them with arms and materiel, and that's how they ended up becoming cohorts in this. So he ended up getting sucked into a relationship with the Germans. And that's how the whole thing started, and they formed the Axis. And by that time, it was too late. And as we mentioned once before during one of the shows, he tried to get out of that agreement, but he was too far associated with them at that time and could not do that. And we know the rest of it is
Which
history.
is what's happening now.
Yes.
You look at George Soros, and you see how deep that Clinton is with him.
Yep.
She couldn't walk away even if she wanted to walk away.
Right. Yeah, that's what happened to
And
Mussolini.
then you got the Clinton Foundation. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God. And I heard
You got the Clinton Foundation.
Yes, I did some study on that as well. Folks, there is some very good information out there if you want to really find out about the Clinton Foundation. In fact, there's a book coming out that is an expose that I would recommend you may want to take a look at, and we'll post it on the website for the radio show. And this book tells the truth about the Clinton Foundation, where it is, where it's coming from. It's a financial mess, to tell you the truth. So from what I understand, the books are very hard to chase down what it was that they were involved in. It was originally supposed to support Haiti and the refugee support for Haiti during the earthquakes and things that happened in Haiti. Well, it turned out that the foundation was also used for supporting other things that it was never chartered to support, and the record keeping has been very shoddy, and a lot of the lifestyle things that have been going on have been related to the foundation supporting the Clintons and their movement.
You sound very
and
tame.
Oh, me?
You sound very tame compared to what everybody else is saying about it. It's like, oh my God.
Well,
they gave 10% to help, and the rest they went shopping.
No, it wasn't even 10%. It was less than a penny per
I know.
one. It was less than a
I
penny
know.
per dollar. So it was
I know.
that actually made it to help anybody. And it turned out that it was
crazy.
Yeah, the rest of it has been used to fund their travel and their lifestyle. So this is what's going on, and people refuse to look into it or investigate it. Why? Because of the press. We go back to the press again, folks. The press is not telling you everything that's going on. They never will.
The press is owned by George Soros and all the One World establishment.
Okay, it's frustrating. Okay,
I never thought I would ever say anything like that, but I'm saying it now because I've watched it so closely just to see what is it I'm seeing that isn't real. None of it's real.
So,
they all have to read their script. Then I just did the chart the other day of somebody that is kind of a big deal at NBC, and it's hilarious. He sits in the room when everybody comes in and they edit what's going to be said. So they pick and choose, and then they give it to their journal or their anchors to say. So he said it's very upsetting sometimes because he wants to say, hey, let's tell the truth here, let's tell the truth there. But you have powers that be that are almost like lobbyists. I mean, they pay so that these things are not said. These are the people that do the commercials. These are the people that, own these big companies like Bear. I'm not going to name anybody, but I don't, any names that I give, I'm not stating that as a fact, but companies like Bear, the big companies, the Heinz 57.
Well,
did you know?
Well, you're right about that.
About the Heinz 57.
What about Heinz 57?
Well, my mother's no longer here to prove this, prove the story, but apparently my
it's this hearsay.
Grandfather.
It's this hearsay, Gene.
Just getting down the pipeline of my family.
We need to say a disclaimer here. If it's not true, this is hearsay. So
I have some higher relatives that their last name is Heinz.
Okay.
And apparently my older relatives, which some are not here anymore, they came over together, brothers, and they were both going to do the Heinz thing, and they got into it. And so one dropped the E and the other kept it and in their names. And so apparently one of these days I'm going to wake up with a check from Heinz saying, "Oh, this is your money due to you because you're of the bloodline of the great Heinz 57 pickles."
All right. I don't hold your breath.
Well, that's what I used to tell my mom. I said, "Mom, God, this isn't even fair." And, yeah, she used to say that, "Don't hold your breath." But apparently it's a true story. We're related to the catch up people. And they're catching up and we're like,
Oh, catching up. That's funny. I get it. Hey, our lineage, we were actually at some point were tied to John Hancock. Did you know that? Yeah. So we have ties back to the American Revolution in lineage, and certainly in heart. I'm there. I'm still there. It feels as part of me.
Well, anybody that's a freedom fighter has had to have fought for
Yes.
freedom before, so
Yep.
you know all of the people, including Donald Trump. I had a flash that he was also one of those, Saxon guys, really big
Oh, really?
guy with Saxon,
Do you get it?
and he was like a hero,
Well-
like Braveheart,
Well, that could be possible because we know that George Patton believed strongly in reincarnation, and we believe that there is a very strong evidence that Donald was George. And if you follow back that lineage, George Patton knew that he was in a lineage of warriors. In fact, there's a prayer that George Patton that he wrote about reincarnation, which was very interesting. So I'll see if I can find that.
Oh, where is it? Yeah. Oh my God, you can't bring something like that
Not
up
a
without
prayer, a
reading
poem.
it.
Excuse me, a poem. Let me see if I can find this. This is, here it is.
can't.
Okay, it's called "Through a Glass Darkly." Would you like to hear it? This is by General George S. Patton. He said, "Through the travail of the ages, midst the pomp and toil of war, have I fought and strove and perished countless times upon this star. In the form of many people, in all panoplies of time, have I seen the luring vision of the victory made sublime. I have bathed for fresh mammoth. I have battled for fresh mammoth. I have warred for pastures new. I have listed to the whispers when the racetrack instinct grew. I have known the call to battle in each changeless, changing shape, from the high-souled voice of conscience to the beastly lust for rape. I have sinned and I have suffered, played the hero and the knave, fought for belly, shame, or country, and for each have found a grave. I cannot name my battles, for the visions are not clear, yet I see the twisted faces and I feel the rending spear. Perhaps I stabbed our Savior in his sacred helpless side, yet I've called his name in blessing when after times I died. In the dimness of the shadows where we hairy heathens warred, I can taste in thought the lifeblood, we use teeth before the sword. While in latter clearer vision I can sense the coppery sweat, feel the pikes grow wet and slippery when our phalanx Cyrus met. Hear the rattle of the harness where the Persian darts bounce clear, see the chariots wheel in panic from the hoplites' leveled spear. And it goes on. It is great. So now he kind of finishes this up when he talks about, kind of closer to the end of World War II. But now with tanks a clatter, have I waddled on the foe, belching death at 20 paces by the star shell's ghastly glow. So as through a glass and darkly the age-long strife I see, where I fought in many guises, many names, but always me. And I see not in my blindness where the objects were I wrought, but as God rules o'er our bickerings, it was through his will I fought. So forever in the future shall I battle as of yore, dying to be born a fighter, but to die again once more.
Cool.
Isn't that awesome?
That's amazing.
I mean, and if you look at the soul of Trump, I mean, and what he's doing, the guy's a battler. He's a fighter. He's a warrior.
There for a while, Trump was doing a poem about a snake. That was really good.
Really?
It's interesting yeah. And he read it in several rallies about how we invite the Muslims in. It was in respect to the Muslims. and they would come in, and we would find out after we love them and care for them that they bite us and kill us. And why did you kill us? We took care of you, and but you knew I was a snake, something like that. But anyway, very, very good. I'd like to get a hold of that and read that again on some show.
Yeah,
It was really good.
what I'll do is I'll post it on our website for this show so that you can see it, and it's quite a long poem, and it's amazing.
And I think this is quite a long show, so I think maybe we better wrap it up. And that was beautiful, and hopefully we touched on something that touched somebody's heart in the show. And
so William and I are going to go down the hill. And do you have any requests? We're going to the Immigrant Mall. What would you like? Carrot juice again?
I don't know. I'm not eating. I'm going to fast for 24 hours.
Okay. Well, good for you. That's a good thing to do is fast. Everybody out there should try a fast for 24 hours, once a week.
Fast and pray for my Trumpster.
Yes.
That he win the office of the President of the United States.
Okay.
So pray for him, everybody out there. Please pray for him. We need a freedom fighter in the office, and I tell you, he is a freedom fighter, and he's fighting for America. And America is the freedom country. So there you have it.
There you have it.
And goodbye, William and Arthur.
We're going. Okay. We'll see you later. Bye, everybody.
Hey,
What?
Bye. Never mind. Bye.
Bye. Let Jean do an astrology consultation for you, your family, or your friends. Go to astrologyjeanhart.com or give her a call or text her at 1-406-599-3934. There are powerful spiritual tools available to help you deal with planetary and personal challenges, and these can be found at prophecyisgiven.com. And be sure to visit our website at thetrekupwardradioshow.com or stop by on Facebook at www.facebook.com/trekupward, and be sure to hit like on our page, or visit YouTube and search for the Trek Upward Radio Show. Be sure to subscribe so you do not miss another episode of the Trek Upward Radio Show. The Trek Upward Radio Show is a studio at 5,600 feet production.